Welcome to Pro Tool Reviews. What I have for you today is Craftsman's new 20-volt 3-in-1 blower, vacuum, and inflator. It's a lot of things that this little thing can do. Let's open the box and take a look. All right, before we open the box, let's see what the box can tell us about the tool. Looks like, well, 160 PSI is the max PSI, auto shut off, LED light of some sort. We'll see that once we get in there. Here it is as an inflator, so car tire, bike tire, air mattress. It looks like a vacuum blower. That's interesting. Looks like they're trying to do a lot of things with a pretty compact package. And let's see, yeah, hose storage built in. Looks like it has a digital interface and a 0.2 gallon tank for, it looks like your dirt tank. So, all right, let's see what we got. Well, of course, you always want to review your manual if you have questions on how to use a tool or on how any of its operation is. So, manual's included. And here is our 3-in-1. So, nice handle on top. Does actually give you a place, it looks like, to store everything. Let's start over here. Got a hose. So it looks like our vacuum hose here. It has a little brush on the end here. It is removable, and also, I think when we see here, it moves up for storage purposes, but we have a little crevice tool and also a brush if we put it in our lower position. And hose extends, so I can plug that in here, and that would allow us to use this as a vacuum. And what's nice is, it gives you a nice handy spot to store that. So when you're all done, you can collapse your brush, put your hose on here, line up your crevice brush tool, and it clicks right in place. Also, it has a air line. So if you're using this as an inflator, you have a air line here and also some accessories depending on what you're going to inflate. So you have a needle if you're going to do say a basketball or a soccer ball. You also have a tip for maybe a pool toy or some other small inflatable. So what you got to do with this is, because it's not a quick connector, you have to actually thread this onto your Schrader valve in order to make that connection and inflate your tire. But what's nice here is that it's actually really easy to store this hose, as it has a groove. You can press this in place, thread it around the backside here, push it in, and it's in place and out of the way. And let's see, this is also a tool that operates on both 12 volts or 20 volt battery. I do have a battery here handy, but if you don't have a battery, that's actually okay, as I do believe we have some onboard storage for, where is it, this side, further accessories, and what is a 14-foot long cord that will plug into your 12 volt outlet in your car. 14 feet in theory should be long enough to get you around to your tires or to vacuum maybe the back seats or the trunk of your car as well. We'll give this a try when we go outside and actually give it a go. Also, if you notice, when I open this up, it fell out adapters for inflators. So if you have an air mattress, depending on what style, or maybe a pool inflatable, you have some inflators, and that actually works with your vacuum hose as well, I do believe. We remove the crevice tool, allows us to put on an adapter, plug it into our inflator. In this case, we're going to go from vacuum to inflation and put that into our air mattress and inflate that. So all of this, again, handy storage, all onboard storage, allows us to keep everything kind of tucked up inside of here. Let's see if we can't get that back in there. It's always a trick with cords and things. Seems like you take it out one time, you can never get it back in the way it's supposed to go, at least the way the manufacturer anticipated. And it looks like we got it. And we'll keep those out for a minute. Close that up. And let's come back around to the front. This does not come with a 120 volt plug though, so this is designed for being portable or use in your vehicle. So if you need it somewhere other than where your vehicle's at, you can use any 20 volt Craftsman battery. Go ahead and insert that battery in the bottom here, and that will allow us to turn the tool on. Now, when we look at this, we got some different settings. Let's see, how do we scroll through here? Oh, there we go. So Oh, there's the light. So yeah, I mentioned I had an LED light. So here's that light. Has a blinking setting and also oh, there's off and then a solid on. So you do have the ability to use this in a sort of flashlight type scenario if you need it. If you have to blow up a tire, say at night. Yeah, I'll shut that off. Does show us a battery indicator too, so we got an idea of our battery level, how much charge is left on our battery. And now we can scroll through our different types of settings. And this looks like bike tire. This looks like it's a vacuum. All right, so vacuum or inflator. All right, and then it looks like when we're coming to the inflator side that we can set our PSI. So yeah, so we can set a target PSI. So whatever that might be. I'm gonna go check car tires when we're done with this to see what it does. And let's pick a number, 32 PSI. And so we can look that in there, and right now, obviously, because we're not connected to a tire, it's gonna give us a 0 reading, which would make sense. But we'll be able to get a reading of what our current tire pressure is and then set a target and say go, and it should blow it up to that intended pressure. As far as a vacuum function, let's see here. So it looks like we have two, an inlet and an intake and an exhaust. So let's see how that would work. Oh. Let's see here. This is what I get for not reading the manual too and figuring this out. There we go. Okay, simple enough. So the way that works is you have an on-off button. The play button here gives you on and off. And the way this works as a blower or inflator just depends on which port you plug into. So if you want to act in the vacuum port, you're going to plug your hose in to this side. So you're going to put it in right, and you're going to use it like this. This would give you a vacuum function. Now if we're going to use it as an inflator, we're going to pull it out of here, push it in here, swap out to one of our adapters, and now we have a way to inflate our air mattress. And that's how you get a vacuum and or blower function or inflator function out of the vacuum on this tool. Pretty unique idea, actually. I was kind of questioning how is that going to work, but now it totally makes sense. Yeah, there we go. So easy enough. So let's go ahead and see if I can't store all this back the way it's supposed to be. And let's see. Put this on this side. Put this on there. Our adapters fit up inside of this cavity on this side. Closes up there. And there you have it. There is the tool. Versatile tool, definitely something that might be handy to keep in the trunk of your car. If you're going on a little camping trip or something like that, it might be something really handy to have. Let's take it outside and give it a try on vacuuming and inflating and just see if it really does what it's supposed to do. All right, so the first thing I want to do is test to see how well this works as a inflator. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the tool on, take out my inflator hose, and I know that my tires are supposed to be inflated to 34 PSI, and these are a little bit low, so let's see what happens. So as you can see, it's showing my current inflation is at 28.5, so I have 28.5 PSI in there. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to 34, which is what my target inflation is based on my manufacturer specs that I checked. And put this up. All right, so 34. So now I have my target, what my current is, and now I'm going to go ahead and hit go. right, so it blew it up to 34. It did drop slightly after I think the pressure equalized between the tool and the tire. I could hit it again to put a little bit more in there to even that out. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to do one more thing before I run this again. And that is I want to run it off of the 12 volt power that's inside the vehicle, because sometimes you may not have a battery handy. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this in to my car and see how it does using 12 volt power. Same operation, turn it on. Let's see, it's showing 31.7. So let's go ahead and set our PSI again here. Bump this to 34 and hit go. All right, so there you have it. That would be a basic way that you could inflate your tire with this using either a battery or the 12 volt included power. Very simple operation, very simple to use there. Now let's see how it does with vacuuming. I'm curious to know how much power this really does have to vacuum. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and vacuum inside of my car. I have the 12 volt or the 20 volt battery attached on the bottom. I'm going to turn this on, turn it to vacuum mode, and let's see what we got. Go ahead and change the brush here. And yeah, actually it was more than adequate to pick up the debris that was left on my floor mat from earlier. So kind of surprising actually at the vacuum power that it did have. Now it does, remember, have some other features as well. It could be used as a blower and an inflator for an air mattress. I don't have an air mattress here, but I think this kind of gives you an idea that, yeah, you can definitely tackle some smaller, easier tasks around your car. All right, so this Craftsman 20 volt blower inflator vacuum is actually a pretty interesting little tool. I kind of had my reservations about it and its ability to do much of anything, but actually was pleasantly surprised to see that, yeah, I can inflate tires. I was able to vacuum. The blower function, while I didn't demonstrate it, is capable. But one thing I did notice when I was using the tool was that when I ran it on the battery power, it seemed to run with a little bit more force than when I had it running off of the car power. Remember, your car's 12 volts and your battery's running at 20 volts, and there did seem to be a little bit of difference in performance, but function both ways. Now, remember, this is a kit, does not come with a battery or a charger, so you have to buy your battery charger separate. But no worries if you don't have any Craftsman tools, that's okay tool, because you can use this as a 12 volt tool plugged into your car. Something you might want to just throw in your trunk and keep there. Easy to clean things up. Actually has this handy little collection box here. As you can see, it's actually filtered as well. So it comes in pretty handy. Now, this is available at Lowe's. It normally is around $80, but it looks like when I just looked up the pricing of it, it's $50 right now. So if you run out and grab one of these, you're gonna get a pretty good deal. So if you like what you saw today, you can get one of these at Lowe's. They're normally $80, on sale right now for $50. Pretty good value there. They do come with a 1-year warranty. I'm curious, is this something that you would use? Do you already have an inflator vacuum blower like this? Leave me a comment below, let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do that so you don't miss out on any of these videos. And as always, thanks for watching.